Star Citizen 4.0 is finally here, bringing with it a slew of new updates to just about every single system in the verse. Along with the addition of the new Pyro system, we'll see a retooling of the onboard power systems, component changes, as well as updates to a bunch of ships to bring them into line with the new systems. So much of this game is about to change. Today, I'll be looking at every single starter ship in the verse, and ranking them on a tier list of best to worst based on how they perform in the game. This includes versatility, component availability, ease of use, and price. Whether you are a brand new player or a veteran looking to downsize, this tier list will help you choose the perfect starter ship. If this video is helpful, please make sure to drop me a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Here's how I'll be ranking these ships. S tier. These are the best of the best. Versatile, reliable, and worth every single credit. A tier. These are each great ships, but with some minor drawbacks. B tier. Each of these ships is a solid choice, but with some limitations. C tier. These are niche ships with restricted utility. And D tier. These are ships that are, we'll say, a last resort. First up is the Aurora MR. Extremely cheap, with decent maneuverability, room for boxes, a reasonable component loadout, and a small bed as well. The Aurora is the most basic of the starters in the game, and while it gets the job done, it's very easily outclassed by many of the other starter ship options. For these reasons, I'm putting the Aurora in the B tier. The Mustang Alpha is a solid choice. It's faster, sleeker, and generally nicer to fly than the Aurora. While it does lack a bed, it makes up for it by having more cargo space than the Aurora, as well as much larger weapon hardpoints. These upgraded hardpoints help make it an overall better dogfighter than the Aurora as well. The lack of a sleeper cab is not such a big deal in the current game state, and the overall versatility of the Mustang lands it squarely in A tier. The C8X Pisces is a hidden gem. Compact, versatile, and capable of carrying cargo or passengers. With larger fuel tanks than most other starters, it has fantastic cruising range, 4 SCU of cargo space, and jump seats for a couple of passengers. Its tiny silhouette also allows it to act as a fantastic snub shuttle for ships such as the Carrack or the Polaris. You must also keep in mind that you can easily upgrade from the standard C8X to the C8R rescue version of the Pisces, which comes with a Tier 3 medical bay and a fridge fully stocked with food. However, the smaller weapon hardpoints and singular shield generator do keep it from popping quite into the S tier, so the Pisces C8X is also going to end up in A tier. The Cutter is an excellent all-rounder. Affordable, durable, and with a little bit of everything, it's a ship that makes a fantastic runabout. With decent firepower and 4 SCU of cargo space, it also includes a small interior living quarters for longer travel times. However, it does lack some maneuverability compared to the Pisces at the same price point. Its larger dimensions make it less viable as a snub craft, and it lacks any type of jump seats for passengers. Additionally, while the Cutter on initial release had a frankly excessive amount of fuel, the current Cutter has the same amount of quantum fuel as a Mustang or Aurora, and only half the hydrogen that a Pisces brings. Still, considering how versatile a little craft it is, including several variants that are an easy upgrade, the Cutter still makes it into A tier. Another excellent snub vessel, the 100i from Origin brings style and efficiency. Though it has smaller hydrogen tanks than the Cutter, the efficient Origin fuel scoops on the craft give it nearly limitless flight time. Including a larger gun and missile loadout than the Cutter, as well as both a larger quantum fuel tank and its own lovely interior space, the 100i only lags behind the Cutter in cargo space, a mere 2 SCU total. Including the singular fastest top speed of any starter ship, and easy upgrades for available variants that can either add more mobility or more cargo space, In my mind, this makes the 100i one of the most useful and versatile starter ships in the verse, and an easy S tier. The Avenger Titan stands out above all the other starter ships for sheer versatility. Great component loadouts, including some of the best firepower of any ship of its size. 8 SCU of cargo space, with a hold large enough to hold a grav bike or a buggy. You also get excellent maneuverability, internal living quarters, and a ton of variants for upgrade options. From combat to cargo, this ship can handle it all, making it possibly the most well-rounded starter ship in the game. An easy addition to the very top of S tier. The Intrepid is an interesting ship to rank. When it first launched, it was easily the worst starter ship in the game, with undersized components and not much else to back it up. CIG has listened though, and it's been improved somewhat. The bump to a size 4 gun definitely improved the firepower, but it still has far less than the Avenger Titan, which is cheaper. And while it does have larger fuel tanks, it has worse components across the board. Its 8 SCU cargo hold is also unable to hold vehicles like we can with the Titan. And while it has possibly one of the nicest interior living spaces of any starter ship, its overall large silhouette and sluggish handling make it an easy target, especially with only a single shield. Overall, the Intrepid has its niche appeal, but falls short in overall versatility and value for money, and lands squarely in the C tier. The Suin is, in my opinion, one of the most unique and prettiest ships in the verse right now. The wonderful alien aesthetic is lovely to look at. It flies extremely well, has excellent firepower and components, and even has some slots for holding cargo boxes. With a small interior cabin for living quarters, it's also a nice place to stay, and honestly, the Suin is one of my favorite little ships in the verse. Unfortunately, it's not the most user-friendly ship. Landing or taking off with this ship anywhere other than either the surface of a planet or a vertical hangar can be quite finicky. The cargo holds are also a bit inconvenient to use, and it's quite expensive for what it offers component-wise. While it's great for combat missions, it's not so good for any other types of starter missions, and it's quite challenging to master for any pilot, certainly not recommended for beginners. For those reasons, as a starter ship, I'm putting the Suin in the C tier. The Arrow is a fighter's dream. Fast, agile, and deadly in combat, it's a fantastic choice for those focusing on combat roles. Unfortunately, for anything besides combat, it's a bit useless. With less firepower and less shielding than the Titan, with a much larger price tag, it's hard to recommend the Arrow as a starter ship. However, for raw performance in its one specific role, it is top class. For this reason, I'm putting it into the B tier. The Nomad is a very interesting ship, which combines style and practicality. With its unique hover cargo bay and decent versatility, it's a strong contender for explorers and traders. With a 24 SCU cargo bay, great shields, great firepower, and space for a mining rover or another similar vehicle, the Nomad supports a wide variety of playstyles. While it may be a bit on the slower side, the extra versatility it offers, including a tractor beam turret on the rear for loading cargo, makes it one of the best jack-of-all-trades ships in the game. While it may be one of the pricier ships out there, the Nomad is a clear S-tier offering, as you get what you pay for in this well-rounded ship that gives you a good taste of everything, and then some. The Cutless Black is a fan favorite for good reason. It's a very versatile ship, offering solid cargo capacity, excellent combat firepower, and multi-crew capability, so it's a great choice if you want to play with your friends. It's also equipped with a reasonable amount of fuel, it's fairly maneuverable, can fit small ground vehicles, and is overall an extremely versatile ship. However, there is another starter ship that is the exact same price, which outclasses the Cutless Black in almost every way. Because of this, the Cutlass is only making it into the B tier. The Freelancer is the direct competitor to the Cutless Black, and happens to be the exact same price as well. For that price, the Freelancer offers the same firepower as the Cutlass, but triple the shields and nearly double the cargo space. It also carries more fuel than the Cutlass, and an extra power plant to make every single component of the ship run better. Though it may be slightly less maneuverable than the Cutlass, for my money, the Freelancer is the far better choice, as you get much more bang for your buck. The Freelancer lands itself in the A tier. The Constellation Andromeda is powerful and iconic, but as a starter ship, it's overkill for most new players. Though it does command a huge amount of firepower, boasts excellent shielding, and a very large cargo bay, those are matched by its sluggish handling, large size, and very high price tag. While it's not a bad ship by any means, it is a very old one, missing many of the useful bells and whistles of the newer starter ships. Additionally, while the Cutlass and the Freelancer offer a multi-crew option while remaining an effective solo flyer, the Andromeda's poor handling makes it far more difficult to run the ship solo, especially in combat missions against more agile foes such as fighters. Still, it's a very powerful and very versatile ship in its own right, so I'm happy to place it in the B tier. Here's our final ranking. The S tier has the Avenger Titan, the 100i, and the Nomad. The A tier has the Mustang Alpha, the Pisces C8X, the Cutter, and the Freelancer. The B tier has the Aurora MR, the Arrow, the Cutless Black, and the Constellation Andromeda. And the C tier has the Suin and the Intrepid. Thankfully, none of these starter ships are quite bad enough to make it into the D tier. I think that they all have their own place, though some are definitely much more versatile than the others. That's it for today's tier list. Which starter ship is your favorite? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Star Citizen content. Fly safe, everyone, and I'll see you all in the verse.